Hey, welcome back. I'm Gary Parr.
I'm
Oh,
Cindy
I'm Beth
Baldwin.
Elica.
It's three of us, all three of us. We
We don't know what we're doing.
we just finished recording the second part of a Patreon video we did on how Beth finished her drum. So we thought for the first time we'd just all three of us do the midweek show. So this is the midweek uh, chat podcast for the Fiber Talk thing that we do. Yeah. So all three of us this week.
Fabulous.
Sunday Sunday is going to be different. Sunday is going to be different. Robert Ossent, haven't recorded yet. Robert Ossent, who's a fashion historian, and Jessica Jane Pyle, who's a fashion embroiderer. They have written a book called The Art of Couture Embroidery. And it is a fascinating book. It's history, very brief histories of a whole ton of fashion houses. You know, all the famous ones, Coco Chanel and all of them. But then they have sections in there where they actually give you how to do some of this fashion embroidery and show.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
different.
yeah, very different. That's going to be the Sunday show. So we'll get to learn a little bit about that, and then I'm just fascinated by that haute couture world.
Yes.
I'm sure that it's nothing you want to be in the middle of, but um, yeah. So that's going to be Sunday. That's going to be fun. Very different, but because I thought, oh, we're just going to get a book about couture history, but then we got the sample book, and no, there's actual, like, you can actually do some of the stitching, so you can experience what it's like to do that kind of clothing type stitching, or needlework.
Hmm.
There's one dress in there, one project that's done with needlepoint canvas, and
I didn't
Oh,
see that one yet.
yeah,
I was kind of flipping through and I was like, oh, and I was multitasking. I was like,
uh,
I got to read this. I got to look at this one. Oh, wait.
yeah. So it looks I just was skimming, and it looks like kind of like a summer dress,
Hmm.
a strap summer dress, but it looked like it was all made out of canvas and then somebody stitched on it, which is weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
hmm.
so that's gonna be Sunday. So that'll be fun. And then next Wednesday we will have the Patreon Zoom session at 8 o'clock for the Silver Needle members, and so invite you to become a Patreon member. If you're Silver Needle one, we do a Zoom gathering the third Wednesday of every month for Silver Needle people, and but invite you to do to become a Patreon member, because we'll have up now here soon, as soon as I get a chance to edit it, the video about making the drum.
Hmm.
And then doing our tour de Broerie, we've cooked up two shows that with Jessica Grimm that we're going to do. And so lots of stuff. I made a list the other day of Patreon videos, and yeah, it got long. So lots of stuff coming up. Patreon.com/fibertalk. There's two levels, $5 and $10 a month, and then you can do the annual subscription, save 10%. So, oh, Fibonacci swirls we're recording this week, so we're going to get together and look at all the versions that these guys have done. I've done none of them. I just facilitate, but all the versions of and see what they're all like. So we'll be doing that. So check that out. Patreon.com/fibertalk.
Maybe that'll
Um,
encourage me to finish mine. If I watch that video, maybe it'll
yeah,
encourage me to get mine all the way done since it's like halfway lingering.
yeah, because what we have Ruth Top, who's done what, three of them,
Yes,
three of them. You've done.
or maybe four. I've done two,
I think she's done four. I think you're right. I think she's done four. And Robin's
Then
done two,
three.
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 So we got nine versions of Fibonacci swirls to look at. Yeah.
Yeah. See, and if that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what will, because to see how the colors change on that piece, I think, yeah, that would be. it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun to watch.
I'm gonna try and put together a single image with all of them,
Oh, cool.
because I think that'll be really interesting to see all the
Mm-hmm.
differences. Same chart, same design, but look what you can do. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
so that's coming up for Patreon members. So sign up, please. We appreciate it. And as I've mentioned a couple times, and everybody's mentioned, it's Patreon is a huge support in terms of just the raw costs of doing this Fiber Talk thing, because 8 years of storage and server space and things, yeah, it adds up. My guy contacts me every now and then. Hey, you're running out of space. Do you want me to increase it? Yeah, I increase it. And we all know what goes with that. So appreciate the support. Yep. Oh, yes, got to mention Jean Ross Molbach, a listener. And we've talked about this lady before. She wrote and asked if we would mention Katernia, Katerya, Katernia. She's the Stitchy Princess on Etsy. So if you go to Etsy.com and look up Stitchy Princess, she is a cross-stitch designer. And you say, okay, there's thousands of those. So what? She's from Ukraine. And she supports her family in part or in whole, who knows, by selling her cross-stitch charts. And they're very nice. There's several of them, and there's a whole bunch of them. And they're very nice. And but she's having trouble promoting them, and so her sales are down. This is what Jean wrote to me about. Her sales are down because she can't promote like she needs to because of all the bombing in Ukraine. So I'm sure internet to promote cross-stitch is way down on the list of priorities when bombs are falling. So Jean asked me to mention to her and to encourage people to buy her charts to help her out. So, what can I do to help people in Ukraine who are suffering because of the Russian invasion? Here's one thing you can do. If you're never going to stitch the chart, doesn't matter. Help her out. Buy a chart, buy a couple of charts to help her out. And there's a bunch of them. There's some nice ones. I mean, I went through and I'd stitch that. So just go to Etsy, the Etsy shop, Etsy.com, and look up Stitchy Princess, and it'll come up. Katernia, I think that's
Katerina.
how it is. Katerina?
Katerina.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yep, Katerina. Yes. I was looking for a different spelling, but you're right. That Russian Katerina.
Catherine
Yeah, that.
in Ukrainian.
So go check that out and do her a favor and pick up a couple charts. They're all PDFs. They're PDF downloads. So she won't have to mail or anything. But help her family out because that's I'm sure it's been grim for a long time. And so Stitchy Princess at Etsy and help her out. There's one. It was the Eastern Bluebird one. I like that one, so I'm going to get that one. But yeah, we all have a bunch of charts we'll never stitch. Add 2 more to it. It won't hurt.
Because charts can't go by themselves even over the internet. They have to fly in pairs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. There's no solo chart things.
No solo charts.
So help her out.
That you can't buy just one.
That's right. Yep. I didn't look at the prices. I was just looking at the charts, but they're not horribly expensive. I mean, they're quite reasonable. So, you can get 2 or 3 and help her out. And if you buy 2, if you go to the third one, is that allowed, or do you have to go 4?
Well, 3's,
Three's okay.
3's okay.
So
4 might be a problem. You might have to move up to 5 if you get,
it
because
kind
you
of
really need.
it feeds itself. I see. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, help her out.
Justify it however you want.
Yep. Whatever you do, help her out. So, Stitchy Princess at Etsy.com and help her family, basically. And then our good friend Clara Warschauer has just announced she's going to be part of the EGA International Teacher Tour. So she's teaching at the national seminar, right?
In Dallas.
Yeah, which you can sign up for. But then she's also doing the teacher tour. And so she's going to be teaching in different places, Goldwort Frog, her Robin Brooch, and her Hedgehog. And the cities she's going to be in are Boston, Knoxville, Melbourne, and Naples, Florida, two cities in Florida, Fairfax, Virginia, Salt Lake City, and Camarillo, California. So check that out. First, join EGA. What's the holdup? Join EGA.
Oh, and there's the frog.
And here's
There's
Beth. Here's Beth with the frog right there. Yeah.
Yeah, let me bring him closer.
Yeah.
There he is. He's just so cute.
Yep.
Those little eyeballs. But yeah, it's a fun Stitch, and I think she's a great teacher. But yeah, you join EGA, so you can take her class. But also because it's local, if you can get to those, they're fun when they come into. I know they did it one time at Cedar Rapids was the last time someone nationally came on the tour, I think. Someone came here, I think
Nicholas.
Jane Nicholas came years ago when my
Yeah.
kids were little. But it's a great way to meet your local EGA people. If you're a member at large, you get to sign up for those. But yeah, it's generally pretty reasonable. But it's a great opportunity to take a class with an international teacher live and in person and all the stuff. So,
Yeah. So join the EGA and participate in these things. And speaking of, so that's Clara Warschauer. Check that out. Yeah, she's terrific, and plus she's just a wonderful individual. So,
yes.
on top of all of that, well, that probably came first, but whatever. Also, EGA members, Jessica Grimm is doing a virtual lecture this Saturday, July 12th, at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. And her lecture is going to be Embroidered Treasures from the Middle Ages at the Anagni Cathedral in Italy. And if you watched the Monday Tour de Broerie, we showed a picture of one of the pieces. Quite stunning. But so Jessica is doing that, and you can register for that. It's $5. And so you can register for that, and they're recorded. So if you can't do it Saturday, then you can watch the recording. But you'll learn something from Jessica. So check that out. Yeah.
A little PSA on that though. If you know you're not going to make the live, don't sign up to get because they don't give you the recording even if you've signed up. You have to wait until they say, "Oh, we're announcing the recorded part of this." Then you do the
Oh, okay.
just wait till because I know I can't make it, but I've got to listen to that. That crucifix on the chasuble was beautiful.
Yeah,
Just
stump work, like serious stump work.
Yes.
Holy smokes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so but all right, now see, I would have made that mistake. So don't sign up for the live thing if you're not going to be there, because I'm not going to be there.
Right.
Because you're taking a spot that someone else could have.
Right, and you can't watch the lecture. You have to go and pay again to get the lecture that you don't get a copy of the recording, which I wish they would let you say, okay, I know I'm not going to be there. Can you just send me the recording? But they don't do that.
No.
Oh, that's a twist I did not know about.
Yeah.
Oh. So, because, I noticed when they announced the recordings available, so that's why.
Right.
Okay, so we'll have to watch for that and announce to people that it's available too. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, learned something there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. But yeah, don't miss that. Don't miss that. Because she was talking about it's a cathedral in a town where the priests from Rome used to go basically to get away from it all. That's what I took out of it. And so they have this massive collection of this old ancient medieval needlework. And,
Wow.
and then she was saying there's a whole ton of paintings there too.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was basically I got to get out of town, so they went to this Anani or whatever the town is. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's so that I'm sure what the plague was going through or
yeah,
something, get out of the heat, get,
Mhm.
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Because it was.
Uh,
She did say the plague was running rampant at the time. So
yeah, so
um,
you get away from all the people.
yeah. So yeah, check that out. Join the EGA and then check that out. And as with all these things, if you mention Fiber Talk, it's greatly appreciated. EGA being a sponsor, and I heard from a couple people in the last couple weeks who joined EGA and wrote to me and they mentioned Fiber Talk. So we do appreciate that. Then they know that their promotional dollars are generating members, which is kind of what they're after. So,
Right.
Right,
um,
right.
but that's I did a promo. I sometimes Lee Peacock sends me the promotion, and other times I put it together when they sponsor a show. And it's interesting when you go to the EGA site. What am I going to talk about this time? It never takes me more than 2 minutes to come up with half dozen things that I usually have to cut down on what I want to talk about in a minute 90-second promo. There's so much there. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, they have some great online classes right now going on. They had that
Mhm.
shaded, and it's with Cruel, so it's wool, but you learn how to do shading, and the shading was interesting. How she carried that off. It wasn't all thread painting. It was just used the way she manipulated the colors. I thought was great. I think that class is still available. I tried not to take it.
It's successfully, it sounds like,
Yes, yes.
so far.
I thought you tried and failed.
No, because I did sign up for the sweet bag class, which was the last lightning round. And that
Okay.
was Jessica's fault. I blamed her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jessica Grimm. Yeah. She knows. She
Yeah,
knows.
you blamed her. You have zero willpower, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I gotta blame
Spare me the
somebody.
spare me the blaming someone else. I mean, you have
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, you're like a
yeah.
house of cards when it comes to that stuff. So sorry.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I gotta learn something new though. See, that's the thing.
Okay.
And that one, lots to learn in that, those sweet bags.
Cindy, if we just sit here and listen to her tap dance for the next 20 minutes, we could have. Now, I have to admit that sweet bag, I was tempted on that one because that looked like a pretty cool thing. I mean, I don't know what I'd do with a sweet bag, but just putting it together, stitching it and put it together, that looked pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the stitches. There's so much history there. That one was just mainly tent stitch, but you don't have to. I wasn't going to do just tent stitch. I was going to do some stump work on mine. So that's
Yeah.
why mine is in the thinking stages still.
I
So
see. Oh, so that's in that shelf with the casket then.
yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Okay. Thinking
But I'm
stages.
working
Yeah.
on my casket.
Oh, are you actually? Okay. All
Oh,
right.
good.
Uh,
Yep.
Great.
Um,
yeah,
okay, we'll leave Beth alone now.
that's all right.
Yeah, because you and I never make impulse purchases.
No, no,
Yeah,
No.
no, no.
because
The
you're just
no,
so self-controlled.
no, because like that autumn collection book, I planned on that. I did. That was not that was not an impulse purchase at all.
So
That was
what autumn thing was this?
what is it called?
It's the one from
Quirky.
Quirky Autumn or something like that from Twin Peak Primitives.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So there's like six different, I guess they're kind of ornaments, and it caught my eye just because, well, there's a pumpkin, but there's a hedgehog. There it is. A hedgehog, a pumpkin, a turkey, a squirrel.
The squirrel appealed. A quail? Is that
What
a quail?
else?
It's a
A quail.
quail. And acorns.
And
Oh, there's a scarecrow too. Cute.
and they're
Oh, it's
they're
one
not
right.
very big, but they aren't super simple.
Right.
It's just cross stitch, but they're just elevated a little bit.
Okay, now
Use a
look
few
at
more
this.
colors.
So you could, but look at that quail. I see
Ah,
needlepoint stitches, like what is that? A mosaic stitch or
Yep.
something there you
Yep.
could do.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You could
Yep.
do long arc crosses for that. And then you could do a turkey work feather on the top of his head.
Mm-hmm.
See, she's
And
talking
that wouldn't
herself
be,
into getting it.
Oh, I know. You can see it
no.
coming, can't you? You can see it
Oh
coming
yeah.
like
Well,
a
but
runaway
but I can see
locomotive.
why. I see. This is what I knew Cindy wanted was that pumpkin
Well, I
because
really like the quail. I like the turkey a lot. I like the squirrel. The
the
hedgehog,
squirrel is just adorable.
yeah, the hedgehog is a little difficult to see, and I didn't, just looking at it, I wasn't exactly sure what it was. I had to look at
Is
the
that what
list of
this
what was
is?
in there to see that it was. I think it's a hedgehog hugging a pumpkin.
Okay, I
Yeah.
don't see it still.
Well, so um, it is hard to see.
Yeah, but all right. So when you get that finished, you show it to us so we can see it stitched up. I'm sure Gary will get it done too, real fast. He'll have it all done and
Oh, you know me.
ready to
Oh,
show.
Well, and my other thought was a drum,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
since
Absolutely.
you're. Uh, Now I don't know if I'll do a drum, but uh, the you could do any number of different things with them
Right. Right. Right.
besides
They're
turning
very
them into ornaments.
right. They are cute. They are very
Yeah.
cute.
here I just
But you guys both planned those. You planned.
yeah there.
There it is.
There you go. See, I
Nice.
love the turkey. So
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
can you expand it a little bit and look at the hedgehog up on the top? So the little brown blob on the right-hand side is his nose, I think, and the little pink
Yeah.
thing, that's his ear.
He needs some help. That design needs some help.
Yeah,
It's not well defined.
not well defined. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's the photograph or what, but the I like the other designs well enough that I don't care if I don't do the hedgehog because I'm not wild about the scarecrow,
Now, see, I
but
like
I
the
do like.
scarecrow.
Okay,
Yeah.
I do
So,
like the squirrel and the acorns. And I love the turkey.
yep.
Here again,
Mm-hmm.
you could use lots of different stitches in that.
Or you can make it really bright. You don't need to use those very muted colors on it either.
Right.
But yeah,
Oh, a
the
pumpkin.
design's very nice. Yeah,
Look at that.
amazing.
Well,
Yeah, and speaking of pumpkins, I finished a pumpkin today.
oh, yeah. I think I have that. So the story
Yes.
on this, what is it? Quirky Autumn Fall Cross Stitch book from Twin Peak Primitives and on sale at 123 Stitch. If you're interested, uh, yeah, cool stuff. So the story was the other day. Cindy texted to Beth and me that she just bought that, and I saw that, and I'm not. I don't really care generally for small stuff, but I got to do those. So I bought one, and Beth is still holding out for 18 hours. My money's on about 18
Yeah,
hours.
yeah, yeah. 18 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
was like,
but I'll tell you what. It. Whoops. Um, I jumped on that, but really it was the drum. Watching you put together the drum that showed me that these little things would be pretty easy to do
hmm
just using the same techniques you used for the drum.
right, right.
Right.
No, I don't.
You
How
you
big
could
are? I
you
don't know
could
how big
do
are they.
I'm not sure either. I don't think
Mm,
they're real big, but you can't really tell from the photo.
Right.
But you could do three of them on a drum and, do the little squiggly. swirly stuff in between to kind of,
Yeah,
run them together.
Yeah.
And I think it would be neat.
Yeah.
right, right. And you probably don't like the little tchotchke things, Gary, but um,
No.
there's all sorts of little pins that you can stick in. I know just another button company has one with acorns probably and something else. So
Mhm.
that would be cute to stick in the top of your
Uh-huh.
drum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. No, I saw that. I saw that all of those in a basket is what I saw. But then I also thought, boy, it would make a fun drum because you could pick
Mhm.
3 or 4 and do that. Yeah.
Hmm.
So no, it
Yeah,
you
and then just turn it, you want a little different look, just
right.
turn it so that, a different figure is facing out.
Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, instead of finishing 4 pillows, you've got just put on 1
Right.
drum and
Yeah.
Hmm.
be a lot
Yeah.
faster.
No,
Yeah.
literally that drum inspired me. That it was like when Cindy sent that, it was like, oh, wait a minute, there's some things can do. Yeah.
Right, right.
So I'm on 123 Stitches email list. So, they send out emails about new charts. And I saw that, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. So I went and looked at it and it wasn't available yet. So they allow you to give them your email address so they notify you when something's
Hmm.
available.
Uh huh.
So that day was when they notified me that it was available.
Oh.
And it just happened. I think it was the same day that we did, or maybe it was the next day that we did the video on the drum. And that's what I was like. So I was already interested in it. So
Uh
it
huh.
was planned for me.
There we go.
Yeah,
See.
of course.
See.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. No impulse here. Mm-mm. No.
No, no,
All planning.
no. And yeah, and you get them done, and it's nice to have those little finishes, you know. It
Yeah.
is nice.
Yeah. So yeah,
Well,
actually mine.
it's a nice little gift. If you need a gift for somebody,
Yeah.
you know.
Hmm.
Yeah. And they shipped right away because I ordered it on the 4th. They shipped it on the 5th, and I'll actually have it. We're recording on Monday. I'll have it tomorrow. Well, it's in the St. Louis area,
Yeah.
which it's probably given my experience with the mail. It's in the St. Louis area. If I got in a car and drove to the facility, I could probably get it faster. Post office really struggles here. They really do. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
they got it
struggling
right out,
everywhere.
and so I'll have it. So that's good. Before we talk about your pumpkins, and I got questions about this one. Encourage people to join us for the Tour de Broerie. That's our daily watching the Tour de France, each stage of the Tour de France, and stitching and whatever else comes up. Jessica Grimm joins us from Bavaria most days. A couple days she's not going to be able to do it. And then Paula Lima from Portugal is going to join us for 4 or 5 shows. And she's been in the audience, active in the audience, but she's going to join us live for 4 or 5 shows. And then Cindy or Beth, as they're able to, are joining us. But starts at 10:30 Eastern Time. It's on our Fiber Talk on the YouTube channel. So wetalkfiber.com/YouTube. And then it's been an hour and a half. We've done 2 of them now, 2 or 3. I don't know. I don't remember already.
Two. Two.
2, about an hour and a half. But we just have fun, and we got to look at a couple of photos of stuff that Jessica is working on, and we just have a good time. So join us for that. It's recorded, so you can watch it after the fact. But live is always more fun. And we talk about the bike racing, and because I never miss it, and Jessica's a fan, and Paul is a rabid fan. Yeah. So if you're curious about that, we'll help you with that. But yeah, join us for that every day, except Saturday the 12th. Not that day, and there's a couple other days, but where I'm going to do my own bike riding. So yeah, so join us.
Yeah.
So I jumped onto YouTube towards the tail end. How did, and was somebody put in the hospital?
Yeah,
Did I hear you say somebody was hospitalized?
Jasper Phillipson, yeah, and then later today, he has to have surgery. He busted up his collarbone, which I figured was the first thing, and
Oh,
broke a couple of ribs. But he has to have surgery. He's probably, I'm guessing he's done for the season.
yeah.
Yeah, but
And then was anybody hurt in the at the end there where they had all the sharp curves?
there was no report that anyone was knocked out of the race. It just that those half dozen guys went down, but nobody that I've heard yet. That was slow in coming. The report on that, but apparently nobody. It's often the next morning when they have to sign in that we find out, because they won't give up until the next morning when they get up and realize they can't actually pedal a bike. That's when they give
Yeah,
up. So a lot of
right.
times you'll see a guy go down and you'll think, oh, there's no way he's continuing. And then he'll show up and ride. Or he won't sign in, or he'll ride and then 10 miles in he'll realize not happening and he has to abandon. So, yeah, yeah,
And it's amazing to me that only a half a dozen guys went down because they're so close together. You'd think it'd just be like,
yeah,
you know,
Dominoes.
yeah,
dominoes. Yeah, that the whole group of them would
yeah.
fall.
They're highly skilled. They're good bike handlers, every one of them. Yeah, but that finish today. I mean, that should have never been. It really disgusts me because they endanger so many of the riders, and ultimately endanger pedestrians too. Because that last curve at the finish there, one guy went right into the top of the barricade, and it could have gone right over. It could have hurt somebody. But they should not be having so many turns in the finish, because those guys are going. I mean, at the top end, when they get their sprints wound up, the good sprinters, I mean, they're 30, 35, 40 miles an hour sometimes on a bike. And you need a straight run for that. You can't make a turn with guys on either side of you. And that stuff, like at that time, I think they were doing 25 to 30 mile an hour or something like that in a curve on a narrow street. And now that really disgusted me, because you knew they. I mean, I've seen enough of them. I knew somebody was going down in that finish. It was inevitable, and sure enough, these guys go down, and yeah, it's
It's
disgusting.
not good.
But
Not good.
better planning. And I appreciate these old cities in France. They don't have straight streets. I mean, they're all those streets are old cart paths and stuff. I appreciate that, but find a straight run to the finish line somewhere. I don't care. But don't get these guys, because now these guys are banged up and it hurts the overall race, because important guys on a team are out, and like Jasper Phillipson, he'd won the first two stages. I mean, they were counting on him to win several sprint stages, and now that team's is out. So yeah, it's
And even if the guys that fell do get back and race again tomorrow, they're not going to be at the top of their game.
no, no,
They're hurting.
right,
They might be full of ibuprofen or whatever, but
yeah, yeah, yeah,
they're still
Right.
not going to be moving
right.
as well as they'd like to be.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Invariably, they'll point out the next day so and so was in a crash, and he's just hiding in the pack just to finish that day. And it'll be a couple of days, and I'm starting to feel better now, and so now I can get back to serious racing. Yeah. Oh, you're exactly right. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, on the upbeat side of that, join us 10:30 Eastern Time on the YouTube channel every day for bike racing and stitching. One of the great
A little bit of drama.
combinations. One of the great combinations in the history of the world. Stitching and bike racing. Why not?
Yeah,
Why
it
not?
was fun. I mean, I watched you guys while I was today. I was watching. I was like, oh man, but and I watched it later, and I think it's fun. I can't always join, but I enjoy watching them later and learning. I learned something. I learned something stitch wise. I learned something about biking. It is fun. Even if you're not
Yeah.
into biking, you learn so much. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's not a sports show. So if sports
Yeah,
make you run and hide, you don't have to. It's
yeah, I know.
it's probably more stitching than sports. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but gives us a good
definitely.
excuse. So, um, okay, so Cindy has this finish, right?
Right.
Yes. Here, I'm going to take
So
the.
this is Luna by Nora Corbett, and it is on 36 Count Elephant Run by Fox and Rabbit, and there's a ton of beads on it and some crystals. There's one crystal right there. There's two other crystals that are at the tip of her wings. I'm not sure I got those in the photo.
And for
Oh
yeah, you
yeah, there
did.
they are.
For people who listen to the audio thing, I'll put it as the main photo. Put this as the main photo on the page, so you can see it.
It's a beautiful piece. You did a gorgeous job.
Thank you.
Those Nora Corbett's are no joke. I did one for Rachel, and just all the color changes. They're beautiful when they're stitched up. They are just gorgeous. Um, but the
Yeah,
color
those
changes, yeah.
the pumpkins took me forever. At least in her gown, there were blocks of color. uh, I mean, there was like I think there's four shades of green
Jeez.
in the cloak, but I think there were at least four shades of orange plus brown in the pumpkin. And then for the leaves and the tendrils, she called for number 4 Krynic braid, but the model was stitched on 32 count, and the number 4 braid was I couldn't stitch with it. I couldn't do cross stitch with it.
Oh,
So for the leaves, I used accentuate, an accentuate metallic, which is like blending filament, but it behaves better. And
uh
I
huh.
just doubled it in the needle
Oh,
and
good
cross
idea.
stitched it.
Good idea. Yeah.
And then the
I
tendrils, I did use the number 4 braid and couch them down with the accentuate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see the couching. Yeah.
see that's a great idea. I try to encourage people to look at Accentuate to use it. We're using it for the pair for some. I told people to look into it because it has such a nice range of colors and it's much
Yes.
easier to stitch with. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a nice sparkle. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't break. I think you can use it in a sewing machine, can't you?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think so. I
Who
think that's what
manufactures it?
originally. I think
Um,
is it
is it
Access?
a Verisois? Access Commodities.
Yeah,
Okay.
because there's another one
It's
called Bijou too. Bijou is kind of similar
yes. Although
sort of stuff.
it has black in it. I
Right.
think most of those colors have black in them.
But anyway, yeah,
But I've
this is
used that
beautiful,
on some
Cindy.
things too. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so Cindy, did you do over one for her face and her skin tone? Sometimes people do that.
I did. I didn't
Mhm.
cross stitch it. I
Okay.
basket weaved it. Well, it's tent stitched. So most of it is two threads over two over two, but the face and chest and arms are one over one. That was
I
a
think that
pain in
adds
the
so
butt.
much when you do it that way. I think it
It
just
it does, but it was a pain in the butt.
yes.
I just noticed all the
Yes.
black beads all along. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Holy smokes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, there's a crap load of beads in it.
Whoa, those just came to my eyes. Man, that's a lot of beads. Wow. Okay. Tip of the
So
cap
then
to you.
I did something a little different. Go down to the Cape where there's orange beads there. I didn't use the beads that she called for. I used Charlotte's. And Charlotte's are seed beads that have one side ground flat.
Mm.
So they're not faceted, but they do have a little different sparkle. They're not quite as even. They're maybe just a tad bigger than a regular. seed bead. So they're kind of crammed in there. But I like the way they look, and I don't mind that it's a little, uneven.
Yeah.
And in person, you'll see a lot more sparkle out of it than you would out of a regular seed bead.
Mm-hmm. Just because of that flat side.
Right. And the flat side isn't always up. Sometimes it was up, sometimes it was down or on the side or whatever. I just
Yeah.
stitched them on and let them fall the way they would.
Yeah. That's a cool piece.
So are you
Thank
taking
you.
it to the framer soon?
Yeah, hopefully next week.
Okay, nice.
And I love
Going
the.
into the fair?
I'm sorry?
Is it going into the fair?
Not this year.
Okay.
So hopefully I will be done with the pumpkin project for the 2026 fair.
How many pumpkins will be involved
15.
total? 15?
Yes. So that's 15 cross-stitched pieces with pumpkins in them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's 15 classes in the cross-stitch division. So I am stitching something for each class that has a pumpkin in it. And the pumpkins are sometimes they're, just regular pumpkins like this. Sometimes they are jack-o'-lanterns. Just depends on which project I picked. And
Yeah.
my goal, my hope is to win a sweepstakes ribbon. And
Mm.
to do that, that means I need at least one blue ribbon and ribbons on several of the other ones because it's kind of a point system.
Okay.
So, I don't know, we'll see how I do, but that's my hope.
Well, it's going to be quite a gallery when you're done, though. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. So the this is on linen and it will go in the under 15 inch picture under 15-inch on linen. And the way the measurement is calculated is the width plus the height of the stitched area. So that
Oh.
is why this is on 36 count linen, because on 32 count linen, it was over 15 inches.
Okay.
On 36 count linen, it's about 14 and a half.
I was going to say, just got under the wire. Yeah.
Just squeaked it under. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really
That's
like
beautiful.
I really like the linen too. That gray. It's really
Yeah, it's
nice.
kind of interesting. It's got a little bit of brown in it every once in a while, and I really didn't notice it before, but being up close to it, I noticed some, and I thought, is that a stain? But no,
Yeah.
it's part of the fabric, and it just is. It's real subtle. So when I was prepping this, I ironed it with a steam iron, and I didn't have my steam iron hot enough, so the iron peed on the fabric. So off to the right, there's a big water stain.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Now it won't show. It uh, it shouldn't. I don't think it's in the photo. No, that's not it. That's
Oh,
part
that's
of
not.
the model.
Oh,
No,
so.
if it was in the photo, you would notice it. It's down
Oh.
towards the bottom.
Oh.
And but because this is fox and rabbit, and we know that their fabric isn't color fast, Gary,
Yeah, we do. We do know that. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
uh, I don't want to wash it to get that water stain out.
No.
So what I am going to do is I'm going to block it the way that Mary Corbett does. I'm going to pin it dry and then lightly mist it and just let the water kind of absorb and tighten it up.
Yeah.
I can't really iron it because of that gigantic crystal.
Right. Right.
I mean, I could iron it from the front, but I don't like to do that.
framed.
No, I
And
wouldn't.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
No, it looks
And
good. I think I'm
with all the beads, I probably would be okay with just letting the framer stretch it. I probably really don't need to do anything
Mm-hmm.
because it was on a scroll frame. The only
Yeah,
thing is, the ends are curled, but
yeah,
that's I probably could just give it to the framer and let him stretch it out.
right.
It's not really distorted. There might be a little bit of distortion up at the top where those two crystals are on the wings because I did have to roll it. But I put some uh, quilt batting in there to hopefully try to prevent a lot of stretching,
Oh, okay.
so it's not too bad.
Yeah. Well, it's quite a piece. Really
it's
nice.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well
I
done.
think it's
I
fun.
love it.
Thank you.
Yep. No, that's good. That's good. Yep.
So I have four left. So I
4
have, let's
pumpkins.
see, four pieces. Yeah, I there are two that are not that are the stitching is done, but they aren't finished yet. Which one of them is Luna? And then I have there's a stocking that it because there's a stocking category,
Of
and I
course.
found a stocking with pumpkins on it.
Is it a big one or just a little one? How big does it have to be for the stocking?
Oh, it's pretty big. It's on a fat quarter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know how long it is. I haven't worked on it for a while. But I think I'm going to put it on the scroll frame. I've been working on it in a hoop,
Hmm.
and I think I'll put it on the scroll frame now that Luna is off of that.
Yeah.
And then I've got a gigantic one on uh, Lugana that I only have one little corner done. It's an alphabet, a sampler, and well, two other pictures. So
Oh,
three pictures and the stocking left to do.
All right.
So,
Well,
massive
we know what you're
project.
stitching.
so
Massive.
this is why I have no progress on Phoenix Band Sampler
Yeah.
because I thought I was going to get Luna done in June,
Hmm.
and I worked on it a lot in June, but I didn't
Didn't happen.
I didn't get it done.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
Pumpkins took a lot longer than I thought they were going to.
Yeah. Those 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 are no joke. Those Noras and the Mirabilias and well, the old lavender and lace ones. Lots of
Oh
color
yeah.
changes. And they're
Yeah.
beautiful
Mhm.
when they're stitched up. They there's something about them. They're just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just beautiful.
Yeah. There's
That's gonna
some
be
people that
nice.
just collect those. Just do all of them. Yeah.
Hmm.
Who's that
Or
guy
just
that?
collect them.
Who's that guy in the? It was in the Philippines. We did a show with a live show.
Bella, Filippo or something.
No, that doesn't sound
June.
right. That's all he does.
Yeah, I see him on Facebook every once in a while.
Yeah.
Is it DEWN
Yeah. Something like
June?
that.
And I forget his last name.
Yeah. But that's all he does. He's got
Hmm.
it's amazing stuff. Yeah.
Well, and I saw one that somebody took two patterns and combined them together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she kind of took it was a woman, and then she changed the colors on the dress.
Oh
So
my.
she took um, the t the top half and then the bottom half of another one, and I don't know, put them together and then stitched the dress in different colors from either one. It was stunning.
Hmm. Wow. Yeah.
I would, that's too much work. I'll happily change colors on a needlepoint, but I'm not going to change colors on a cross stitch like that.
A lot of work. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're gonna run out of time. So, Beth, what is this thing that you're working on? This one here. This.
I don't
Coffee.
know.
Oh, I put Beth up instead of the picture. There, that one.
Oh, that was I think we talked about it before, but it's the coffee beans one from Mill Hill, and it was on Ada, and I
Oh, that's right.
just
You sent this picture here. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
yes, yeah, and so it was on Ada, and it's 16 count Ada. The color is beautiful. I think we figured out what color it was, but I just couldn't stitch on it. I tried, and I was like, no, this is going nowhere. So I went over to Be Stitch Me, and she had a couple of dark browns, um, and I pulled thread, so that's Coffee Club, and I think that'll work. Now, one of the browns might disappear. I might not do. There's like that background where it looks like there's wallpaper going down, and
Hmm.
it's on a tone
You
on
don't need
tone.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
that's
don't
that
need that.
stuff back there. I think I might just leave that out.
Hmm.
I think everything else will work because you
Hmm.
basically got white on it. It's full coverage there in the center.
Hmm.
And I'll stitch it on that. I think it's going to go on that, whatever that coffee one was. But I think those colors will just pop on it and it'll look
Oh
lovely.
yeah.
See that
Yes,
blue
it
on
will.
Yep.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the green. Yeah.
And the greens and the yellows, it'll all work. And it's an off white, so you got tons of white to put on. And it's a 36 count versus the 16 count. So I should have plenty of thread. I'm not going to run out. It'll
Hmm.
be great. It'll work perfectly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I
Yay.
was just playing with those.
Yeah.
But then she had another brown too. I think it was called, what was it called? Acorns, something acorn.
Well, that's
Acorns
what
it was.
this other one here is called. It's
Yeah,
acorns. Yeah.
yeah, and it would work. I think either would work. I'm just not sure which. But I like the coffee, the idea of on the coffee.
I know. Yeah.
It's a beautiful piece of fabric. And I probably, because it's not going to be that big, um, I can just cut a piece off of this
Yeah.
uh, quarter of a yard and go for it. And my thought was too when I thought, well, what am I going to do with this? So I finished stitching it, and I thought, uh, I'll probably not really a drum, but a kind of a wrap. I do drink coffee, and I do use fresh beans. And I keep them in a mason jar, and
Oh yeah.
I'll make it fit around the mason jar,
Oh.
so I
Perfect.
can so I can see it every day. Why would I stitch something and that I don't something especially this size? It'd be nice to be able to see
Yeah.
it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
That's a great
it'll,
idea.
Yep.
yeah,
So, and
Dress up the mason jar.
for audio people, I'll put a picture on the website page and then also on Instagram so you can see what we're talking
yeah,
about. Yep.
and then
So,
yeah.
what?
Oh, you showed a picture. Okay, so that's Bees in the Greenhouse by the Blue Flower, and I made a mistake. I'm using I can't remember the name of that fabric. I think it's Cloudburst. And I'm using an off-white thread, and it's so hard to see
I was
unless
gonna
I've
say
got
it,
great
and you can't
lighting.
see it. Yeah.
I can't.
Hmm.
It'll be beautiful. It finishes as like a 3D object when it's all done. So it'll be fun to stitch, and that's why I'm working on it. But that off-white on that basically
Yep.
a light blue gray.
Yeah.
It's just so hard on my eyes. I thought,
Yep.
what was I thinking?
Not gonna work. Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Uh,
Not
uh,
gonna work. All right, we need to wrap up. But today at the in the Tour de Broderie, this is Monday. Lori Mann shared with us her progress on the Phoenix Sampler. So we'll do a show, an update show. Uh, I hope maybe next week. We'll have to see what the schedules say. But Lori's going to be able to join us because this is amazing.
yeah,
Hmm.
and she obviously changed the colors,
Yep.
and it just shows you that it's a great design.
Hmm.
That's I think a sign of a good design that you can change those colors and get a beautiful result.
Hmm.
It's just stunning.
She did a great job. Oh, she's putting her beads on as she goes. I
Yeah.
don't ever
Yep.
do that.
Yeah.
I always go
Where's my?
back.
where's my note on this? It's on Lugana.
28 count Lugana, I think she said. Gray?
Right, 28 count ash gray Lugana. Where's my? It's right here in my notes, and I can't find it. Well, I'll trip over it after we're done recording, but yeah, 28 count, and then she used sulky threads and Gutermann thread. So that's why we got to talk to her because we're doing silks and the usual stuff, and she's got Gutermann and sulky. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I love it. I just love it. And
yeah,
that, she's making it her own, and what fun.
it's
Yeah.
And it was funny
gorgeous.
hearing Jessica say she didn't like those heart Jessicas
Oh yeah,
that are in the.
she was not happy stitching those. She wants them over with.
Well, yeah, these are new stitches to her though. All of these Hilton stitches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
So yeah, so you can join us on this start along. I did make a plan, so obviously some people are not following my plan. Some people are way zooming ahead. But my idea was to try to get it done. What did I say? 18 months. So
yeah,
it's
Hmm.
so it's not lingering in my stash forever was my reason, and I do better if I break things down into smaller bites. So
Yeah.
the first band didn't take me too long to get done once I got everything placed right, and kind of making color choices on that second band. Um, but it obviously, if you're a monogamous stitcher, probably it won't take you long to work through it.
yep.
Right.
And I'm
So
going to
join us.
start a Facebook page for the Phoenix Samplers so people can share their progress, and then I will put Beth's schedule for download as a download on there, so you can comply with Beth's scheduling if you choose.
If you so choose, if you so some of us like a little bit of um, guardrails, something to, kind of aim for, a goal. We like goals.
Yep. So you
Other
can
of
do
us are
that.
just start anything willy-nilly.
You can do that, or you can do the
Yep.
Jessica and start in the middle and work your way out, up or down. Yeah, that's a
Yep.
way.
Right?
Or do the
Hmm.
Lori thing and just do this. This one really struck me.
That's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
It's beautiful. Yep.
Yeah, I'll be
So
interested to talk to her about how she chose her sulky color and all
yeah,
that. That's be
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
So a show coming up on that because we got to learn from Lori and we'll look at our progress and. But it'll be next week so that Cindy and I have a chance to actually do some stitching. Oops. I got
Yeah, I'm really
some.
curious to see you work on with the threads. I'm really curious to see how you guys like those threads because you
Yeah,
bought the fiber pack.
right.
Right.
Yeah, we bought the official certified threads. Yes. Yeah, those. Yep. All right, that's going to be enough. Join us 10:30 in the morning each morning for the tour de Broerie. Best thing on that is subscribe to Fiber Talk on YouTube and or Instagram because I post every day that we're going to do it. Which reminds me, I did not post for today on Instagram, but so you can keep up. But if you subscribe on YouTube, then you get the official notification when we're ready to start. And join us for that hour and a half of stitching fun in the morning. And
That's
uh,
10:30 Eastern.
right, 10:30 Eastern. Yes, in the morning. Yes, and we get so far we've gotten about an hour and a half of bike racing, which is that's about right. Yeah.
Good.
Last year they were finishing. There was a couple times where they were essentially finished when we started, so that was not helpful. So I reached out to the organizers of the Tour de France and asked them to, help us out.
Yeah.
Right. All right,
Right.
that's it. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.